Dress up these cabinet sides with this easy wainscoting method. So I'm working with some wainscoting, putting it on to the finished edge of my cabinets. And this is basically how I did it. I adjusted my table saw so that it was cutting at the same bevel as this, which is 10 degrees. And then I ran some 1/4-inch slats through my table saw so that they got cut with that same 10-degree angle. That leaves me with 2 vertical stiles on the wainscoting skin, because all I'm doing is I'm just going to pin nail these to the ends of my finished edges of my cabinets, which will come out to be the same as the face of the cabinet door, and then these will be my rails. This particular set here is for a face cabinet. To match these up, the one beveled edge will join into this. Obviously right now it won't join in because there's a gap, because it's got this 10-degree cut here and no 10-degree cut here. So I'll go over to my miter saw and I'll cut a 10-degree angle on this so that it matches this one, so it'll slip together just like that. In order to cut these, either you need to use miter gauge and run them along your table saw, still with that same 10-degree set, or you could flip them up on end. If you only have a regular miter saw, turn it 10 degrees and chop them off like that. Or if you got a compound miter saw, just set the bevel so that it's 10 degrees and then chop them off like that too. Cut all these ends at 10 degrees. I'm only going to cut one side at 10 degrees because right now these are still rough length. Once I get them close to putting on the cabinets, that's when I'll cut the other side to the exact dimension I need. That will come after I attach the face frames to my cabinets, because this one side here will actually cover up the pocket hole screws for the face frame that's going to hold it on, so you won't have to fill any wood or anything. You won't notice anything. Where I stapled the stretchers across the top and the back, and then along the back nailer here, and then the floor where it's stapled in here, these will all cover up that, so there's no need to fill any of those holes or anything on the cabinet. So it's kind of a great trick. It also brings the side of your cabinet from a flat boring side down to matching close to the profile that's on your cabinet doors. I've taken my wainscoting and I've clamped it on so it's flush with this edge right here, and flush all the way around here, and I put my other one out over here so I know exactly where to cut it. And then I've taken a straight edge and positioned it up on top of there like that, and then lined it up with the beveled cut on the other side. Now I know where the longest piece has to be on this piece. I'm going to cut it a little bit long each time to get it perfect, so it's going to be cut perfectly in. I made a little bit of a line right here, as you can see, to represent the angle in which it needs to be cut. So that's how I'm going to fasten these all to the right size on every one, is basically just keep shaving a little bit off until it gets the right dimension. I'm going to use these clamps to temporarily hold it in place while I pin nail it with my pin nailer. I'm going to do this for all 4 edges, and then I'm going to use some clamps and weights to make sure that they stay down until the glue is dried. You may notice me opening and closing the magazine here. This is because for some reason the pins do not slide far enough down to get shot out. The open-close process seems to force the pins down so they can be shot out. Here, where I cannot use any clamps, I'm just going to use some free weights to apply pressure while the glue dries. Here's with the wainscoting all clamped and weighted down. And here's what it looks like without the weights and clamps. Now I'm just going to repeat the process for all the other cabinets that have exposed sides. Here is I've gone back through and used some wood filler to fill in every little crack, every little divot or ding, not so much ding, but every little pin nail hole or crack in between the wainscoting pieces on every one of the cabinets. So every one has this filled in. It'll allow it to sand perfectly smooth. So all my cabinets now have this taken care of. I won't have to worry about any cracks or anything. It'll help make my finish much smoother. So I've essentially completed all the wainscoting edges on all the cabinets with the exception of basically on this, like you see on this front right here, I've not done the front piece. That is because the pocket screws that will be used to screw in the face frame will go in there. And once the face frame's screwed on, then I'll go back and put this wainscoting edge on here to create this shaker panel looking edge, covering up those pocket screws so they won't be seen or anything, and repeat the same step. I'll fill in the cracks here with a little bit of wood filler and any pinholes that are left over after I pin nail it on. And that way the finish should be nice and smooth and crisp. Now for these wainscoted edging on all these cabinets, both the base and the uppers. As you can see, there's quite a few. What I'll do is I'll go back over this edge here with a random orbital sander. There's some, most of these are flat, some of them are a little bit of a lip. I did not run all this 1/4 inch material through my planer. There are some that are a little bit more than a 1/4 inch and some that are a little bit shy of a 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to run over with a orbital sander, bringing down this lip if it is a little bit of a lip. A lot of them are smooth, so I don't have to worry about it. For the loose piece that is remaining, I'm going to hit this surface here. And then what I'll probably do is, if there's a rough edge on this inner edge here that's beveled, I'll just hit that right quick with like a piece of sandpaper to knock it. And then I'll go through here also and knock down all these sharp edges, because paint will not stick very good to sharp edges. So all these sharp edges, even here, I'll break those edges so it forms a little bit better of a bond and everything. That's where I am right now, is basically going to sand all these down really quick with some 220 grit sandpaper, and once that's done, then I'll be moving on to the doors. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.